Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Mashari Waringi. Today, I would like us to speak about UBRICOIN, working with cryptos to finance your business. I am the president of Islamic Biomedical Research, Innovation and Industrial Centers of Africa, and I happen to be a doctor of medicine and doctor of health administration. In this presentation, I will cover functions of money, what is money, types of money, value sequence typology, cryptocurrency functioning as money. Cryptocurrency is money type, UBRICOIN, the cryptocurrency. And then we'll talk about UBRICOIN as acknowledgement money, UBRICOIN as commodity money, UBRICOIN as credit money, and 10 billion UBRICOINs created. And then we'll look at UBRICOIN distribution, the Metcalfe's law, Metcalfe's effects on UBRICOIN, and then your role. Let's talk about the functions of money. The function of money is that money, we ask ourselves what's money? We say that in an answer to this question, most economists describe functions of money as a medium of exchange, measure of value, and store of value. A good medium of exchange enables someone to sell something today and buy something else from someone else tomorrow. Heterodox economists like Silvio Giselle said in 1916 that money should be a medium of exchange and nothing else. Mr. Giselle said money should be secure, it should accelerate and cheapen the exchange of goods. A good store of value, on the other hand, is something that can be exchanged for as much in the future as it is now. That means that if you have one UBRICOIN going for 50 shillings today, that's half a dollar, it should go for at least 50 shillings next year or a lot more than that. That is a good store of value. And a good measure of value does not have value in itself, but provides a way to compare the price of one thing against another consistently over time. So something that you can measure value does not have value in and of itself, but provides a way to compare the price of one thing against another consistently over time. These functioning terms of money, or these functions of money, tell us what money can do, but do not tell us what money is. Okay, so we are of the opinion that we need a better definition of money, particularly the one that proposed by Bendor, Slater, and Rudick, that money is a system of agreements and symbols that influence creation and exchange of value and power. Keep note that we're talking about agreements and then symbols that influence creation and exchange of value and power. These agreements, on whether implicit or explicit, about the relationship between symbols of money and when actual value of what was monetized changes hands before, during, or after, is the most important signifier of money types. That means this about time. Is it before, is it during, or is it after? And you see how this time relates to what types of money we have. For example, if money is coming from the past tense, that means something you've already been given and you already have it, then you pay for it, that you're acknowledging past value created. That is known as acknowledgement money. Then, if you have money as a promise of the present value, that means you have something like gold, and you know gold is worth this much, and then you want to exchange that gold with something like a house. That is present value, and of course that's just what it is. That gold and the commodity that you're buying has the same present value, and that is known as commodity money. We use gold and such commodities maybe a long time ago in the 1900s and 1800s, and then of course in the early 20th century before we moved into the new money, which is called fiat currency. Credit money is a promise of the future. That means you go and get credit maybe from a bank, so low borrowing like mortgages, and you want to promise to pay small quantities of money over a very long period of time. And 95% of the money in circulation is credit money. It's not real physical money. It's not acknowledgement money, because to have acknowledgement, you have to pay for something, you have to have cash. Commodity money, you have to have commodities, say like gold, but credit money is future promises. Now, for the past money, acknowledgement money is when people accept money because they know the value of what was created. For example, when you go to buy a pair of shoes, the shoes are already created, you're just paying. When you go to a doctor and you're paying for a doctor's visit, the doctor has already done his job and you're paying him for that. The present is commodity money in itself, and we say that something like gold, and it is something that has its own intrinsic value, and you're exchanging it with something else with intrinsic value, but you're saying the value is equivalent. The future now represents money. Money that's not there yet. It's an IOU, it's a loan. So this diagram depicts what's called now the value sequence typology, which means past, present, and the future money. Past money, present money, and the future. That's now typifying money to those two classes or categories. Cryptocurrency is money. As we said, that cryptocurrency is money, and we said that money is a system of agreements, and cryptocurrency is fundamentally built on smart contracts, something like Bitcoin or Ethereum. And then we have symbols, symbols like UBRICOIN, symbols like Ethereum or ETH, symbols like Bitcoin or BTC, and so on and so forth. And so these agreements and symbols help us to create and exchange power, help us to create and exchange value. So money is a system of agreements and symbols that help us to create and exchange value and power. And cryptocurrency have fulfilled this requirement. Now, how does cryptocurrency work as money? What type of money? How do we classify? We can have the same three types of classifications of money, of cryptocurrencies. That is, we acknowledgement money when you want to pay something direct for goods and services that are rendered. That's the value is already experienced, and you're just acknowledging the price of that value. Or commodity money, when cryptocurrency act as store of value. For example, when you get one UBRICOIN and then you wait for it to mature, it's going to have the value in itself, which acts as a store of value, and that's now you would say UBRICOIN is working as a commodity money. Then we have credit money. Credit money is when loans are issued, and of course, you can issue loans against cryptocurrencies. UBRICOIN is a cryptocurrency whose contract address is OXDB13025 B219D5 DB5E4529 F4865 FF009A26B6 AE733. And that whole thing, you don't have to remember that, just copy and paste. Never try to write it down, because you make a mistake. Omit one digit, one letter, maybe mix up with zeros, with O's. Do not try to write it down. Just copy it and paste it as it is if you want something from the UBRICOIN contract. The name of that contract is UBRICOIN, UBRICOIN, and its symbol, as we said, money is a system of agreements and symbols. The symbol is UBN with 18 decimals. It's a near RC20 standard token built on Ethereum blockchain, and it derives its value from Ether or ETH because it's built on Ethereum blockchain. Now, one UBN is equal to $0.50, which is approximately 50 shillings. Now, let's look at different types of typologies that would represent UBRICOIN. UBRICOIN is acknowledgement money. This is when you can use UBRICOIN to pay for utilities, school fees, doctor's fees, legal fees, architect fees, consultation fees, and transportation fees, and all kinds of fees that you pay. For example, even when you buy things in shopping, you go shopping with UBRICOIN to pay for online shopping, local groceries, or local retail. For example, when you go shopping on Soko Janja, then you have UBRICOIN as an acknowledgement money. But UBRICOIN can also act as commodity money when it acts as a store of value. When you buy it, like most cryptocurrency traders do, they buy the coins and then they hold them so that the value they can see where the value increases, but they don't want them to lose value. So something that's a good store of value, it holds its original price and it can get better price in the future. And then it can be traded in exchanges. UBRICOIN not yet trading in exchanges. UBRICOIN as credit money is when UBRICOIN is given out on business as loans to create business loans and people can borrow from it. We have created 10 billion UBRICOIN to finance the UBRICA project. So the UBRICOIN holders will be able to buy different things in UBRICA project, UBRICA products and services in the future, and they will have access to UBRICA ecosystem. UBRICOIN will be a gateway to the biomedical world in Africa. As you know that we have created UBRICOIN to create platforms to support life science research and development, generic drugs manufacturing, and health services delivered. When we created UBRICOINs, we calculated and saw that out of the 10 billion, we shall distribute it into the entire UBRICA project. That's mean that we allocate 10% UBRICOIN to Sokojanja, 20% to retail clinical centers, 20% to the science and technology parks, and 30% to the biomedical industrial city. Then what's exciting is that we have 20% UBRICOIN to be allocated to community development, and this means to fund development of community by giving away about 2 billion UBRICOIN to users. Okay, 2 billion UBRICOIN to users. We are going to give away those 2 billions so that we can create value for the UBRICOIN. Because according to Metcalfe 1980, the value of a network is proportional to the square of the number of users. That means that if we keep the UBRICOIN to ourselves at UBRICA, then it has no value. But we give it away, that's the way it gains value. And this is called the network effect. The network effect describes the value of a service to a user that arises from the number of people using the service squared. At its core, it captures the value that value increases as the number of users increases because the potential links increase for every user as a new person joins. This is best quantified by what has come to be known as Metcalfe's law. Now, in our case, we are talking about UBRICA here at the very top, giving UBRICOIN to say the first level of users. Let's call these people number one, or generation one. These generation one users, supposing now we allocate them 10,000 coins, and they went out and allocated those 10,000 to 10 people, each one receiving 1,000 in generation two. Then what you're going to have is 10 more people. Now we're going to have 11 people knowing about UBRICOIN and holding it. When the generation one user gives away 10,000 coins to 1,000 to 10 people, that generation one user automatically receives 20,000 UBRICOIN. And so if then the generation one user tells the generation two users that it is important for them now to distribute their coins to 10 people as well, 1,000 coins per person, then we'll have a third generation of users, and this third generation also have 1,000 coins each. And if they want to distribute, then they can receive a top up of another 9,000 to reach 10,000, which they can distribute to other people. As soon as generation 2 has finished distributing to generation 3, that means the 10,000 UBRICOINs are gone. Then UBRICA tops up again the generation 2 person with 20,000 coins. And of course, each time, and then of course, this generation 2 person will give to 10 people in generation 3 and retain 10,000 coins. That means for each time they distribute, 10,000 coins are left. And by doing so, we see the power of UBRICOIN emerging through linkages realized between holders. So what are we going to do to distribute UBN to achieve Metcalfe effect? We intend to distribute 2 billion coins to at least 1 million people. And what we'll do, we'll send to your wallet 10,000 UBRICOINs. And then what you will do, now you become generation 1. Step 1, you will help at least 10 people to open digital wallet. Ask them to send their wallet addresses to you by text message or WhatsApp. It's important that they send the wallet address in the text format and not a picture or a screen capture. So what will happen? Step 2, now once you have received the 10,000 and you have it quite settled in your wallet, send 1,000 UBRICOIN to each wallet holder. When you send out to the 10th person, UBRICA will top you up with 20,000. That was just it. Then explain to the person receiving 1,000 UBRICOIN from you that he or she is eligible to receive 9,000 UBRICOIN extra from UBRICA if willing to help 10 people in his or her network to open wallet. By that time, because you have received 20,000, you will earn 10,000 UBRICOIN for you yourself. Now, let's talk about generation 2. These are G2 people who have received UBRICOIN. So the persons receiving 1,000 UBRICOIN from you will get an additional 9,000 UBRICOIN to distribute to 10 people. Upon distributing to the 10th person, this person will receive 20,000, and you can see the cycle recurring again. So it's a recursive cycle that each time you give away your UBRICOIN to 10,000 to your 10,000 UBRICOIN, if you give them to 10 people, 1,000 each, then you receive 20,000. And you can do those so many times until you have exhausted all your networks, and you will receive as many let's say a commensurate number of UBN, depending, all right, on what you're doing. And so we go on step 7, step 8, and step 9, and even all the way up to maybe step 20. And this, what you are seeing, is a recurring, let us say, self-propagating, or what's called snowballing effect, which is what Metcalfe is talking about. So by that time, we're able to gain the power of the UBRICOIN. That's exactly what we are doing in right now, and we're hoping to reach millions of people in Africa, particularly because we're in Kenya, so that we can saturate UBN and it becomes the standard mode of exchange of value in the country.